time ago, we released our second episode titled Being Young is an Advantage, but in that episode we examined the contributions of young Nigerians in different sectors all around the world. We examined how young Nigerians such as Nnamdi Azikiwe, Obafemi Awolowo, Tafawa Balewa, Anthony Enahoro, and many others helped Nigeria gain its independence from her British colonialists. Thereafter, we compared the actions of some politicians such as Dino Melaye, Dimeji Bankole, Orji Okalo, Yahaya Bello, and others who got into political positions before they turned 40. We ended by asking you this question. Do you think that these people performed well or are performing well to ensure that young people can be trusted with political positions in Nigeria? Here's the link to that episode. I would like to encourage you to watch it later. This episode is its sequel titled Being Young is an Advantage, but Part 2. Shortly after the hashtag #EndSARS protest that happened in Nigeria and trended globally, many other things have transpired as well. About 5 days after the deadly shootings at the Lekki toll gate, the federal government, led by the former governor of Lagos and current Minister of Works and Housing, Mr. Babatunde Fashola, and his team took a tour around the venue of the shooting, and this happened.
Reactions have continued to trail the camera that was found by the Minister of Works and Housing, Babatunde Fashola, over the weekend. Footage of the minister inspecting the Lekki toll gate, where peaceful protesters demonstrated before they were forcefully dispersed, circulated on social media. In the video, the minister was seen to have found a camera which he believed was planted there by subversive elements. Before long, Twitter users began creating memes with the minister's image, many referring to him as Inspector Gadget and Sherlock Holmes, both movie characters depicting detectives.
This tweet by one Twitter user, Maurice Monye, perfectly summarizes my reaction. It says, fire raged and burnt everything. Soldiers came and left. Governor visited. Media visited. Lawma swept the place. They found nothing. Suddenly, in a twinkle of an eye, Inspector Fashola found a camera. Even used cloth to pick it so as not to tamper with evidence. Inspector Gadget. Hey, can you just stop laughing and focus on your monologue? Sometimes I try to imagine what our so-called political leaders think about us. Do they think we're dumb? Do they think we do not understand their gimmicks? Do they think we are children?
The abuses from children!
Oh, maybe they do. Maybe some of them really think that we're children.
When I went through the comments, I could not believe it, Mr. Speaker. The curses, the abuses from children. And I ask myself, is this Nigeria? What is going on? Children cursing?
Let us put this speaker on the spotlight. This is Oluwashola Desmond Elliot. He's 46. He's currently a member of the Lagos State House of Assembly. He was elected in 2015. So, he was 41 years old when he was elected. Let us go back and listen to a larger part of that speech. Take a listen.
We need to address certain things. The Nigerian youth, the social media, the social influencers, all of these are making the narrative that we are seeing today. Except we are joking with ourselves. Social media, yes, though good, has its negative impact. Let me first thank you for condemning the wanton killings and carnage that happened at Lekki. When I went through the comments, I could not believe it, Mr. Speaker. The curses, the abuses from children. And I ask myself, is this Nigeria? What is going on? Children cursing? Mr. Speaker, in the next 5 years, there will be no Nigeria. If we don't start now, the youth is not only those who do the peaceful protest, those who have looted, who have destroyed lives, they are youths as well. Mr. Speaker, pregnant women went into malls, picked things and went away. When shall we change this narrative? I put it to all the celebrities out there, all the motivational speakers. This is the only country we have. The wealthy will go. When anything happens, what is our common saying? We die here. Please, celebrities, please, social media influencers, Stop the hatred already.
This video clearly points to the fact that although we need more younger people to go into politics to represent us and be our voice, we must not be in a haste to vote for just any young person. Honorable Desmond Elliot just showed how disconnected he is from Nigerian youth by speaking against our celebrities and the use of social media. What wrong have our celebrities done? Does he mean that our celebrities do not have the constitutional right to protest? Is it the responsibility of our celebrities to build schools, hospitals, and pay workers' salaries? Anyway, let's hear what Nigeria's Minister of Information, Lai Mohammed, said regarding social media.
Are you telling me the truth?
Yes, that's his name, Lai Mohammed.
The Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, was trending on Tuesday for once again calling for the regulation of social media. At a press conference where he appeared before the House of Representatives Committee on Information, National Orientation, Ethics and Values, the minister said the nation was sitting on a keg of gunpowder regarding the issue of fake news. He warned that the next war that will be fought in the country and across the globe may be fought through social media, making reference to the recent SARS protests. The minister further referenced China as a nation with a well-regulated and censored cyberspace. While at the conference, Lai Mohammed made a case for more funds for technology to regulate social media while defending the ministry's 2021 budget proposal. Let's take a look at what he said before we take some reactions.
We launched a campaign to regulate the social media, which was bitterly contested by the stakeholders. But we didn't stop, and we kept saying that if we do not regulate the social media, it will destroy us. Sir, social media and fake news did not start destroying Nigeria. Social media has come to stay. We are not complaining about social media. We are complaining about the unbridled, unregulated social media. We are looking at the negative aspect of social media. And it is not just communist countries that are very wary of social media, even the US.
Also, the Northern Governors Association said this as well. Take a listen.
After extensive deliberations, the following resolutions were arrived at. Appreciates the role of traditional rulers in containing the menace of SARS protests in the North. Collectively agreed that traditional rulers be given formal roles in the governance architecture of the country. The meeting rejects and condemns the subversive actions of the SARS protests, the superlative agitations and other change regime actions outside the ballot box soon take advantage of the peaceful protests to push for their separative agenda. The meeting endorsed the indivisibility, indissolubility, and oneness of the nation. The meeting took note of the devastating effect of the uncontrolled social media in spreading fake news. Therefore, calls for major control mechanism and censorship of the social media's practice in Nigeria.
Oh wow, I did not even know that these governors have an association. But anyway, having listened to these old politicians speak ill of social media, and then a younger person, in the person of Desmond Elliot, repeated the same thing, I was more disappointed in him. Why, you may want to ask? Social media has done better for us. In fact, the politicians, have benefited immensely from social media. Here is what Desmond Elliot said when he won his election in 2015.
So how have you been able to cope, like being a legislator and you're still having time for your fans on social media?
Oh yes, I've made it a point of duty because the social media was very instrumental to my victory. The social media was very instrumental to my victory. So I have to let them know, step in, step out, everything that happens. And this is 2015. So you have to let people abreast of situations and things going on.
Surprising? Here's a part of the speech of Nigeria's President Muhammadu Buhari in 2015 during his inauguration.
I would like to thank the millions of supporters who believed in us even when the cause seemed hopeless. I salute their resolve in waiting long hours in rain and hot sunshine to register and cast their votes and stay all night if necessary to protect and ensure their votes count and were counted. I thank those who tirelessly carried the campaign on the social media. I thank those who tirelessly carried the campaign on the social media.
Okay, clearly social media is not our problem. The problem is service delivery, and the government has failed woefully in that regard. It is unfortunate that the focus of Desmond Elliot and other politicians has been on the hashtag #EndSARS protests, but they failed to examine the cause of the protests. The protests were an effect of a cause.
And as you know, for every effect, there is a cause.
Questions such as, what caused these youths to protest? How can we make sure that their demands and reasons for protest are met? Should be asked. I had hoped that as a young politician, Desmond Elliot would speak on the reasons why young Nigerians embarked on the hashtag #EndSARS protests. By the way, he has been a lawmaker representing his constituency since 2015. What are his accomplishments since he was elected in 2015 as a lawmaker? What initiatives has he put out for the youths in his constituency? I decided to search online to see if he has an official website where I could find his accomplishments and other related information, but could not find any. However, according to social media users, the accomplishments of Desmond Elliot are providing buckets and washing soaps for the public for washing hands during the pandemic, and building a toilet that uses waste to manufacture manure. That's it? Are you serious? That's it? Although I do not know how credible these claims are, but if you can verify these claims, kindly comment below. We would like to hear from you. But if these claims are true, it is apparent that our emphasis should not just be on any young person being in political positions, but young people who are competent. After almost 6 years of representation, Desmond Elliot can only boast of providing buckets, soaps, and a public toilet as accomplishments. This is not the type of representation that we want as young people. Let me use this opportunity to inform Desmond Elliot and the Northern Governors Association of the following. Number one, the protests were largely peaceful before they were hijacked by hoodlums and thugs, like Desmond Elliot stated. Social media did not hijack the peaceful protests. Instead of focusing on who the sponsors of the hoodlums are, you want to blame social media for the protests. This is misplacement of priority. Two, the only reason hoodlums managed to hijack the peaceful protests was simply because the government, of which Desmond Elliot, the Northern Governors, Lai Mohammed, and the President, Muhammadu Buhari, are representatives of, failed to engage with the protesters. The protest started on the 7th or 8th of October 2020, and on the 20th, people in army uniforms were seen shooting at protesters. The government failed to have a meaningful engagement with the protesters, but then you want to blame social media and celebrities. 3, nobody trusts the government anymore because the government has not been transparent in its dealings in many instances. Without social media, many people would not have known about the hashtag #EndSARS protests and the different forms of brutality that Nigerians go through daily in the hands of our security officers and politicians. Social media keeps us connected and informed more than our government-owned media houses. 4, instead of focusing on regulating social media in Nigeria, why not focus on providing constant power supply to the country? What stops these governors from focusing on ensuring that the millions of out-of-school children in the north are taken off the streets and put in schools to ensure that they get a good education? What stops them from doing that? 5, what stops the government from creating programs where young people can exploit the immense economic potential of social media? Regulating social media is mainly for the selfish needs of our politicians. Indeed, there are many things we should spend our time deliberating, and certainly not regulating social media. It is unfortunate that the political class has literally destroyed our country. They told us that we are the leaders of tomorrow, yet they are still present in our tomorrow. how can we take charge in the tomorrow that they have taken from us? Unfortunately, we have lost faith in them. We must stop trusting them with our votes and start trusting competent people from among ourselves. No nation has developed by leaving its youths behind. Since the older ones have failed to carry us along, we must decide to entrust our votes to not just any young person, but a young and competent person. Together, we can build a new Nigeria and Africa in general. And as a matter of fact, I'm counting on you. Hey guys, thank you for watching this episode of As a Matter of Fact. Please subscribe to our channel, like and share this video. Leave your comments below, we would love to hear from you. So please subscribe and watch out for the next episode. As a matter of fact, I'm counting on you.